It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just finished my first drop off. And the guy was on his way home from visiting with friends, and he was worried about what his wife was going to say when he arrives home at 3 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock when he promised to be home. And here's the conversation that I had with him. I didn't have permission to share that conversation in reality, but I had permission to talk about it in the afternoon. So basically, what I suggested to him was storylines are really important. The story that we were telling tells a lot about what was the intention. His thought was, I'm just gonna, try to shrug it off or whatever and just say, guys and I were just drinking, it's no big deal. And I told him, from my perspective, I don't think women will see as much into that story that could be helpful. So the stories that we tell are really important. If you just say, the guys and I were just drinking, there's a lot of leeway that could lend towards the interpretation of that story. And oftentimes we're gifted at telling the worst case scenarios in our minds. But I suggested if he would consider being a little more specific, saying, I know I promised to be home at 1 o'clock, like lead the conversation if possible. Lead the conversation saying, hey, I was late last night, or this morning I came home at 3 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock like I promised. The guys and I, we had an unexpected real opportunity to connect and open up over drinks, but we were sharing some real heart-to-heart stuff. It was something that was unexpected. I didn't see this on my radar, but I was in the middle of it. I'm like, oh, this is just too good, and it's feeding my soul. And I didn't realize I needed that kind of connection. And so I wanted you to know that that's what happened last night. And I'm really sorry that I didn't commit to the time frame that I had made to you. That's a really helpful narrative that could give a lot more information. What does that tell her? It tells her that she was on his mind through that whole time. And he's like, man, I made this commitment. But it also tells her the intention. I was having really good connection with these friends, and it was unexpected. I didn't realize I needed it, and it really, filled my bucket up, my soul up in a way I didn't realize. So you're telling her a lot more information than just, the boys and I were just having a drink, right? And then it also gives her that ability to relate to you, saying, I know what it's like to need that kind of connection. And then it also gives you an opportunity to affirm your commitment to your wife and saying, hey, I should have been here and I wasn't. I wanted you to know the truth, per se, And I even encouraged them, if there is anger as part of that response on her part, just sit through that, let her express that, because that's a legitimate thing if she didn't understand, and then be able to share with her all this. Anyway, stories are really important, but intentions behind those stories. So don't do this as a manipulative tactic, but out of sincerity to connect.